Who's inside a cage right now?
If you let me out, I'll let 2 of you live.
Which 2? What?
It's a surprise.
Fuck this. Let's just kill her now.
You tried that, Frank. If you would like to open this door and try again, please do. My offer just expired. Now only let 1 of you live. Whoever lets me out.
LJH crew, what's going on? Thank you once again for clicking on another edition of the Real LJH Productions. So, yeah, you saw the title of the video. You saw her in the cage as they locked her up in that scene. Finally, I am talking about Abigail and giving my full review of the movie. Give you a quick little unboxing once again. Here's the front, the back. Showing you again what the disc looks like. There's the Blu-ray and there's the DVD. So, okay, so let's get right into this review. I'm going to try to make this review short and sweet. There will be spoilers in case you have not seen this movie. But I'm going to give it a quick rundown because I got a lot to talk about in this movie. And I'm going to try to do it in a certain amount of time here. So, it kicks off with Abigail at a dance recital, and then you see the character Joey outside, and they're looks like they're playing the heist and doing whatever to kidnap Abigail and get her to the location they need to get her at for whatever reason why they're kidnapping her. So we get through all that, and then we end up at this house where there's another gentleman there, and they say all you have to do is just watch her for 24 hours, and then you guys can split the $30,000 up between you. And they go from there, and they have code names. This is where the name Joey comes in, Frank, and then I forget the other characters' names, but anyway. So, and Joey's the only one that's allowed to go into the room to see Abigail, and long story short, it ends up being like batshit crazy. Frank accidentally goes into the wrong room and sees Abigail at that point. And at this point, they've already lost one of the characters, and they can't figure out why. And then they go to discover who Abigail's father is, which makes them panic. And at that point, there's a scene where they're in Abigail's room, and she then reveals herself as being a vampire. And she, at that point, is going on a rage, chasing after them, keeping them alive, if you will. There's a scene where she goes, yeah, I'm keeping some of you alive. I like playing with my food. And then they go to discover that it was really Abigail that set up the whole heist with this other gentleman. And it's just like, it's batshit nuts. We end up losing 2 more characters, where it's just down to this character Joey, which is played by Melissa Beretta, and this dude Frank. And then they go to realize that every person that Abigail has set up over the years has all worked for her father, which has a different name in the movie, but it's basically she's Dracula's daughter, but he just goes on a different name. I forget the name of how they described him as. And all because, her father doesn't really show her a lot of love and stuff like that. So this is her way of getting back at her dad. And we end up getting a twist where they end up trying to escape this house that they can't escape. But they end up in a room with a bunch of cameras, and it shows the one guy that they thought had left them at the heist, and he's been working for Abigail the entire time. And he says, I've had enough, I want out. And he goes, she turned me vampire a long time ago. If you guys help me out here to kill Abigail, I will let you guys out. Then it goes like batshit nuts. He ends up turning Frank to a vampire. Frank ends up turning on Joey and tries to kill Joey. And then at one point, Abigail and Joey end up teaming up to get rid of Frank, which then reveals her father coming in at the end and saying, Abigail, what the hell? And he says, you never really pay attention to me, stuff like that. And it's just an all-out crazy, twisty, crazy story. This movie is gory, it's funny, it's just batshit nuts. I enjoyed every second of it. There wasn't one scene in this movie where you felt bored by any stretch. It was done really, really good. The only thing that I would say that I didn't like is some of the backstories to some of the characters on why they all worked for him at one point. Abigail's father. But that was besides that, they each had their own background story, which I won't really get into. But it's done really, really well. Like, I basically just explained the entire movie. So getting to my grade point average here, comedy-wise, I'm going to give it a B. It's got a lot of throwaway lines, and it's really, really, it can be really funny at times. For suspense-wise, I'm also going to give it a B. There's not a lot of jump scares, but when there is, you kind of jump and you know that they're there. Horror-wise, I'll give it an A. It has a lot of great horror elements. The kills are kind of cool, and the blood and gore is all throughout this movie. Drama-wise, there is some drama with some of the characters, and especially with Abigail kind of not liking her father. So I'll give that like a solid, I'll give that part a C. The drama's not constant, thrown in your face. So I would say a C is a good grade with that. Altogether, what do I give Abigail? I'm going to give Abigail a solid A+. It is a great watch. It's a fun watch. It's definitely a horror movie that I can go back into my collection and watch over and over again. The movie is a lot of fun, and I'm going to give it a solid A+. Is it worth you watching? It is definitely worth you watching. Is the Blu-ray worth picking up? Absolutely. I think the Blu-ray is worth picking up, especially if you love physical media and you love correcting horror movies. Abigail should be on your list of movies to own for horror. It was a great, 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 awesome movie, and I highly recommend it. You can also watch it on Peacock. It is on Peacock for streaming as well, but I highly recommend it. It is a great watch. Solid A+, no doubt. But with that being said, guys, this is my review on Abigail. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a massive thumbs up. Hit those notification bells so you're on when I post a video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We talk about physical media, do movie reviews, do trailer reviews, all that fun stuff here on this channel all the time. And remember, guys, once we hit 500 subscribers, I do have that copy of Spider-Man 2 for the PS5 that I am still waiting to give away. And with that being said, I'll see you all real soon. Don't also forget to check out the TikTok at The Real LJ's Productions as well. And with that, as they say in the movies, cue the lights.